Is it creepy that you can see? I'm Juliana. What's up with the peace signs? I'm Juliana and I used to read a lot of books. I don't anymore because time and college. But during this quarantine, I've gotten so bored that I have been reading books again. Wow, super cool. So I wanted to share with you some recommendations of what to read during quarantine when you're bored of watching Netflix, you don't have online school anymore, and you just want to leave the present world. Cool. 1, most of these will be young adult books, and then 2, I'm going to be separating like the books that I'm going to recommend to you into like different categories. So I'm going to have a fantasy recommendation, a contemporary recommendation, etc., just to cater towards what you prefer to read. You get it. So yeah. Okay, let's do it. Okay. First book I'm going to recommend to you is like sort of a sci-fi modern day thing, and that is An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. You've probably seen this around. Hank Green, one of the vlog... No, that's David. Wait, yeah. Wait, no. I don't know. Hank and John Green. You know them. You know them. John Green, Fault in Our Stars, etc. Hank Green, his brother, they have a YouTube channel together. So Hank Green wrote this book. Let's see. It's about this girl who stumbles across this weird statue that appears on the streets of New York City with like no rhyme or reason, and she makes a video on it, and she kind of like goes viral and spurs to internet fame, and it goes on from there. And it's about like internet fame and like the things that we haven't really stopped to consider about what it might mean to be famous on the internet. And it's also about like the universe and like aliens, but I don't want to say any more about that because that might be a spoiler. It's also about like something happening to the world and the world like changing up a little bit in like weird, unexpected ways. So that's why I would say go ahead and try this one. Next book I have here is a fantasy book because I think fantasy is a very, very good way to get totally absorbed in a totally different world. And I also think that something that a lot of us really need right now is like the ability to be totally immersed in something and to kind of like forget about the current situation. That book is Six of Crows. This is Crooked Kingdom because I don't have Six of Crows. I actually like Crooked Kingdom a lot more than Six of Crows, but Six of Crows is the first book in a duology by Leigh Bardugo. This is the second book. It takes place in this kind of world of like thievery and fantasy adventure, and there's this huge cast of characters, lots of different like love affairs and action, adventure, plot, intrigue. Doing a horrible job explaining. I read this book a long time ago, but basically my point is that it's super immersive and super fun, and that's it. Oh my goodness, I'm going crazy. Okay, third is a book that I think I put in literally every book recommendations video, so apologies. But that book is I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. And I match it now, by the way. Rainbow. Okay, cool. You don't care. Oh my goodness, this is so hard. Okay. It's about these two twins, and the book takes place from each of their perspectives, but their perspectives are like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years apart. And like over the course of the book, those perspectives come together. And in the younger perspective, the twins are like great friends. It's from the point of view of this boy who's like falling in love with a boy, and he doesn't know what that means, and he's scared, etc. And then in the older perspective, the perspective of the girl of the twin relationship, the two are like totally distanced from each other, and throughout the course of the book you'll kind of figure out why that happened, why their like roles reversed, etc. But what I love so much about this book is how freaking like beautiful and artistic it is, and that's why I'm recommending it to you now, because every single time I reread this book, I've reread it like 4 times because I'm in love with it, probably too much. Every single time I reread this book, it makes me want to go and create something, or like go look at the trees. I don't know, something weird. But it always inspires me in some way, or makes me feel like I'm capable of doing some art, or I have something to say or something to give to the world. So that is why I'm recommending this to you. Try reading this and see if it inspires you in any way. Yeah, it's a great book. Now for this last book recommendation, I want to give you something easy to read, something you can fly through, and that is Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard by Rick Riordan. You probably know who Rick Riordan is. If you don't, I'm sorry that you missed out on an important part of my childhood. But he wrote the Percy Jackson series. And this is a different series he wrote that is much less well known about, but just as wonderful. It's centered around Norse mythology instead of Greek mythology, and it's just fun. It's just like objectively like a fun read. Let's see, what's it about? Yeah, okay. It's about this guy Magnus, obviously, who is living in Boston homeless when someone finds him claiming to be his uncle. He is taken in by his uncle and he slowly learns about like Norse mythology and that he might be involved in it in some way. And then there are like some monsters and things. So this is a really, really great book, and also has a lot more like, I don't know, political commentary than Rick Riordan's Percy Jackson books, which I really, really appreciate. Like in this book, the main character is homeless before he is taken in by this uncle, and then in the next book, if you choose to go on with the series, which I hope you do, there's like a gender fluid main character. So yeah, these are really, really wonderful books, not just for kids. You can enjoy it too. Highly recommend. I'm like out of breath. Okay, cool. That's my video. Those are my book recommendations. I hope that you read some or one. I hope that you found one that you were interested in that you might want to read. I know you can't like go out to your library or go to a bookstore right now, but I'm sure that your local library has like an online book borrowing service. I know mine does. So you can check books out from there, just read them on your phone, on your tablet, whatever. And you can also like support your local indie bookstores by ordering online. I know that my local indie bookstores are still sending out orders, and that's a great way to support small businesses. So if you have the ability to pay for a book from your local indie bookstore, see if they have one of these books that I've recommended on their website and pick it out, and you'll have a good time. I promise. I don't promise. I can't really promise because everyone's experiences of books are different and subjective, but I really like these books and I think you should give them a chance if you're bored. Great. Okay. Oh, and hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're all staying well. I really like it when people tell me to be well. I don't know, something about that is like strange enough that I actually think about it, so I'll tell you, be well. Okay, goodbye. Stay safe. Yeah.